Welcome everyone to the Love Hour. So we'll start our program at about 5 past. So for now, please just enjoy some lovely music from our friend Karl. Welcome Claudette, welcome Cor, welcome Diane, welcome Donna and Tito, and Glenn, and Howard, Iraj, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome Janet and Karen, and Catherine, and Lisa, and Mara, and Mary. Welcome Patty, Peggy, and Sarah. Welcome Sharon, welcome Sheila, and welcome Susan. And welcome Vivian. We'll start our program in just a couple minutes. Rod, you are on mute.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to another Love Hour. And thank you, Karl, for the lovely music. Really mesmerizing. Karl Anthony is our guest today and is a songwriter, singer, and advocate for the healing potential of music. He also leads international service trips to Thailand. He has received several Gandhi King Stephen for Nonviolence Peace Hero Award for his humanitarian efforts and innovative music performances. Karl is a member of National Organization of Art in Health. And the beautiful part of what he does is the last 15 or maybe even 17 years, he has been a dedicated musician at Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego, uplifting the spirit of the patients and the staff. And today he is here supporting us with his talent and his music to elevate humanity through love. Craig?
Hi everybody. My name is Craig Souza, and I, along with Mayrod, are part of the group that started this initiative, this Love Hour initiative. And so I want to welcome you. We've got a lot of first timers, so I'm excited to see some friends. Special shout out to Diane, glad you're here. And Claudette and John Renish are here. And this came out of a breakout room at a retreat. And the folks in the retreat were talking about, how do we create shifts in society? And this the breakout room turned into a monthly call that has now been continuing for almost 2 years. And it was initially a conscious investment banker in Ohio. Such people do exist, who said, I was talking to this nun who had this idea about, just shifting the energy and the frequency of the world with love. And what would that look like for us? And out of that came this idea to just, what would it look like for people at 4 p.m., wherever they are, to just sit for 10 minutes or an hour, if you're a real, badass meditator, and just send some love out into the world. And we very intentionally wanted to not do it on Zoom. We were like, we don't want to give people another thing to do. Just wherever you are at 4 o'clock, whatever your time zone, just sit and do this thing. And, as we told our friends about it, they said, oh, what's the dial-in? And we were like, well, no, we kind of didn't want to put you through that. And then what we realized was people really want to come together in community. And so this is I guess we can't really call it a pilot anymore, since this is the third time we've done this. So now on the last Sunday of the month, we are doing the Love Hour Live edition. And Mayrod has been kind of tapping his network to bring in musicians, which has been just gorgeous. Because I think art, I'm a theater artist, and so I've been really thinking about how does art kind of come into the mix, and also bringing in guest whiners like my dog, and today we have a very special guest, Richard Miller, who Richard's you can go to Richard's website and learn a lot about him, but the story I want to tell about Richard is my friend John Renish, who is on the call today. Called me up one day, very excited.
And Craig, please mention that John initiated this conscious leadership guild.
Yeah. John Renish, he was on the call today. He's not on camera, but he hates it when I say he's the founder, but he's the founder of the Conscious Leadership Guild. And he really is. He's the reason. He's a powerful connector, and he's why we know each other. And he called me up one day very excitedly and said, I just had lunch at Lemongrass with this guy who I think Peter Russell made the introduction. I can't remember who made the introduction, Richard, to you and John. And he said, I've been trying to get into non-dual space. And this guy across a restaurant table got me there. He just guided me through a meditation, and he was just in awe and so excited. He's like, yeah, he said, I met a powerful teacher today. And so Richard, it's been a joy to get to know you through John, and I'm very grateful that you joined us today to share your gifts with us. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Karl to give us the gift of his talent, and then Richard will lead us through a guided meditation.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Mayrod. And before we hear from Dr. Richard, let's open with a song. It's such a joy and pleasure to be here with you today. And music just makes everything better. And let's just begin with a song. And let's everybody take a deep breath. This is called Open My Eyes. I wrote this during a time of a lot of pain in my life, and it was a little song that kind of brought me out back into the light. I hope it gives you some comfort today. Open my eyes, let in the light again. Open my eyes, let in the light again. Open my eyes, fill them with hope again. Open my eyes, open my eyes, heal my heart. Let me begin again. Heal my heart. Let me begin again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathe in the strength again. Take a deep breath. Breathe in the strength again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Open my eyes again. Open my eyes. Open my eyes.
So with our eyes open or gently closed, let those minor chords come into our hearts. And just let yourself unhook from the thinking mind as the music has so beautifully brought us into this moment, where the sound of the music continues to reverberate. And let your senses open to the environment and the sounds around you as you settle more deeply, opening your heart to this moment. And just letting yourself drop. So we're, in a way, feeling from the eyes of our heart, from the depths of our hearts, welcoming ourselves both into this moment, but of also sensing all those who are on this time together, sharing this moment as a community of like-minded folks, where we're sharing one heart of love. And I'd love to invite you to also bring in someone who may come to mind. Could be a person, an animal, someone who, when you reflect on them, it evokes this sense of love and any associated feelings of kindness or joy, compassion. And I invite you to feel into your body where and how, when you experience these qualities we call love or kindness, where and how do you sense them, feel them in your body? So we move away from our conceptual mind into the actual experience of love and loving kindness. Take a moment. Welcome these qualities into your body. How they have a very viscous feeling to them and how they help us deeply, intimately connect with ourself. To those who come to mind. And isn't it interesting how these qualities of love and kindness have both a localized feeling about them in our body? They resonate different parts of our body, don't they? But especially when we might close our eyes momentarily, we may also feel how they're non-local. It's like a field of love that we're living in. So I welcome you to open your attention so it feels everywhere at the same time, out in front, behind, to the sides, below and above. With the sense that love isn't something we're bringing to us. It is innate within us, and we're reveling in the unfolding of it and how it is a field that touches and pervades everywhere. So we're giving ourselves completely to a moment of surrender where our sense of separateness can melt away. And there's just a unified field, we might say, of love. Again, noticing these other qualities that may come foreground with it. Joy, a touch of well-being in the body. Sense of kindness or compassion. Sometimes when we evoke these different qualities to our foreground presence, they come with some of their opposites. And so if there are opposites that you're experiencing, welcome them as well. Notice where and how you may feel these in your body, or you may take a moment to feel any opposite that arises and the original quality of love or kindness. Because sometimes When we feel into love or kindness, it remembers us where we might have a moment of unkindness, where we weren't truly loving. So love invites a moment of forgiveness, we might say, that we are always doing the best we know how, learning in every moment. And sometimes when we feel an opposite, like when we weren't loving, and we feel this quality of love, and then we sense into them at the same time, not conceptually, but the feelings of them. You may notice how it may take you beyond either into a whole nother dimension. Where we may feel not just our own presence, but the field of presence that we are a part of, not separate. So I invite you to take a few moments now in silence, just nourishing this unified field that we're all living in. This mystery that has birthed us and the entire cosmos. Each of us has a unique expression, and yet all of us share that underlying essence, mystery. So take a few moments now and just nourish this sense of this unified field that we all abide in. Both your own presence as a very local, viscous feeling that might feel like a warmth in your heart or a warmth that radiates into every cell. And the more non-local field-like quality of love that we're all living in and as. What happens when you let go of the thinking mind and you just become more and more absorbed, not just in love, but as love? And when it feels right, Karl will begin to meld into our field of love the beautiful chords of his music.
With every breath that I breathe, silent the mind and just be. Open my heart and my soul, breathe in love and let go. With every breath that I breathe, silent the mind and just be. Open my heart and my soul, breathe in love and let go. Breathe Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in the love. Breathe in love. Breathe in the love. Breathe in love. With every breath that I breathe, silent the mind and just be. Open my heart and my soul. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love and let, with every breath that I breathe, silent the mind and just be. Open my heart and my soul. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love and let go. Breathe in love. Breathe. Breathe in the love. Breathe in love. Breathe in the love. Breathe in love. Breathe in the love. Breathe in love.
Thank you, Karl. That was beautiful.
You're welcome, Craig.
So now is the time where we invite you, members of our community, to bring your voices into the space. That can be with an observation, with a question, with just sharing your wisdom. I will just remind you that we are live streaming this on YouTube and it is recorded. So if you're not comfortable with your image or voice living on YouTube, just keep that in mind. But yeah, so if you would like to bring your voice into the space, please just raise your hand using the reactions thing. I can't find words right now, or just wave in gallery view, and I'll see you.
Well, Craig, I'm glad that you started speaking because I was absolutely after that guided practice with Richard, followed with that music. I was just transformed. So I'm glad that you were able to speak and continue gathering because it was really precious and I really appreciate Richard and Karl. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It seems that a couple of latecomers are still in the wait room. Is that true?
I think I have let everyone in.
Okay.
I won't call them latecomers. I will say they got.
That's what I was reading the messages.
Yeah, Mara, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for this. And I wanted to give an extra shout out for Richard, one of my first teachers way back 40 some years ago. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it's been many years. This is, thank goodness for Zoom, that if nothing else, we can meet this way again. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I wanted to start dancing actually to the music. It was hard to control myself. It was very, very heartfelt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks
Why
like,
did
Mara, that you've got your love glasses on.
Always.
I'm just going to let the beautiful silence be. And if you'd like to bring your voice, just come off mute and come on in.
another shout out for our dear Richard, how he has such an amazing gift, bring all this sometimes could be very complex concept and make it such a user friendly that we can easily access, and have a pleasure of knowing Richard over, God knows, 25 years or so. So it's been a gift, and it's a gift that we are having you here today, Richard.
Thank you, Mayurad. I was reflecting on the meditation myself, that how these qualities, they all live inside of us. We're not bringing them to us. We're letting them loose, and they're always available to us. And I love how it's really about getting out of the thinking mind and really letting ourselves drop and surrender and more be taken. So we step out of our will into thy will. And we really do that, feel that sense of how the universe, or I like to call it the mystery, is living us. It gave birth to us, and how we're all so unique. And yet there is this underlying essence that we all share in common, and that we can tap into so readily, and we can do it by ourselves. But it's beautiful when we sit together. There's a deeper resonance that can pull us more foreground into these qualities that we call love or kindness, compassion. And as I was mentioning when we were doing it, oftentimes when we think of being compassionate, I love the understanding that we are being compassion itself. We're not being love, we're being love itself. And it will pull sometimes foreground where we haven't been loving or we've been unkind. And there is this beautiful understanding that when we hold opposites at the same time, not with our thinking mind, but we feel into them one at a time and then both, it can take us into a whole level of understanding that we might not otherwise open to. So I love sharing that in these meditations so that we can use them as healings for these places where we might not have been fully kind and conscious human beings. I see Peggy has her hand up.
Hi, this is Peggy, and I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who've organized this, and to Mayrad, Richard Miller, whom I've met and taken some classes with, and Karl's music is just lovely. I just wanted to share something that an affirmation this morning that I came across, of life is not happening to you, life is responding to you. And I'm so grateful for offerings such as this beautiful love session. I know that it ripples out and ripples all of us. All of us, we impact so many people and beings that we may not be aware of. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Peggy, for sharing. And the beauty of this community is just really elevate that vibrations and, spread it, that vibration. It's something that our society truly needs today. So thank you for your presence. Thank you for sharing. I think
Diane.
getting ready for another beautiful.
Yeah, but Diane has her hand up. So Diane, would you like to say hello?
I would like to say hello. I wanted to come. I wanted to become, more than invisible. I guess we can put it like that, but I don't know how to do it. Thank you, Craig, for inviting me today. I felt a little hesitancy coming when it mentioned love, and I think it had to do. And I liked what Richard was saying about these opposing emotions. Sometimes I feel like when love is mentioned, that the other emotions shouldn't be examined, but they're a part of love too. And learning to love ourselves and sitting with that and learning more about who we are. I mean, in Buddhism, we sit to know the true self. And the true self is complex and unraveling all around us, even when we don't realize it. Anyway, so maybe that's the rebellious part of me, is like, I only can talk about love. So it was so beautiful when that was mentioned, that I guess when love comes up, there is, you think of the other parts where you couldn't love, or how you have been harmful to other people. And so that could be my resistance. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
I love just in that what you're saying, Diane, if I may speak momentarily, which is, I think we're all doing the best we know how, and that brings a sense of compassion and kindness as we examine these places where we've been unkind and strive, you might say, to be kinder in the future. So we're always learning and growing. But as you say, every time I contemplate love, I'm always going to feel where I wasn't loving and bring those moments in for healing.
Right.
I can find a deeper resonance. So I like the idea that everything is welcome here. All the emotions, nobody's left out.
Oh, I love that. I was thinking too of what Thich Nhat Hanh said about compassion, that suffering, he would not give up suffering, because that's the sister of compassion. Anyway, I was reading one of his books, so it really touched me.
Well, there's a beautiful saying from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that says, whenever we separate, there will always be some quality of distress that shows us the place where we're separating. So I love that suffering is a moment where we've separated, but it's beautiful because it's pointing directly to that place where we can go and do the healing we need to do. And then it served its purpose and it dissolves.
That's nice. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Richard. I love this dialogue that's coming out of this. And may it continue. So, Karl, let's continue with our program, and then we'll leave the room open for a few minutes afterwards for more lively discussion.
Hello, everybody. Well, I specifically appreciated so much what Peggy had to say about the ripple effect and how it just so impacts us. And you just never know what impact you're having on the person or the pain that's going on in the person to our left or to our right. Mirad had mentioned that I work at Children's Hospital, and I go room to room and sing for kids. And I remember one little guy that I walked in, and he immediately blurted out to me that chemotherapy was like having an earthquake inside him. And it was an odd thing to hear from a child. And his mother looked at him kind of funny, and I looked at him and I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he says, it's like the ground is shaking inside you. And so the first thing I said is, "How old are you?" And he said, "I'm almost 8." So this little 7-year-old is talking like a poet. And I said, "So what do you do when the ground is shaking inside you?" And he said, "Hold the sky." So he really got my attention. And for a songwriter, that was such a gift. So I looked at him, I said, "We should write a song together." And we wrote this first line. It goes like this. It goes, "When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. And when the kingdoms crumble into dust, say goodbye, say goodbye. When the kingdoms crumble into dust, say goodbye, say goodbye. Sometimes life can bring you down to your knees. If you go through hell, fine, just don't stop for tea. When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. It's time to forgive, a time to love, time to love. When the time is time to forgive, time to love, time to love. And when love leaves love in arms, watch the ground, watch the ground. When love leaves love in arms, watch the ground, watch the ground. Sometimes life can bring you down to your knees. If you go through hell, fine, just don't invite me. When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, hold the sky. When the ground is shaking under me, hold the sky, 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 sky.
So taking the words that Karl was just singing, when the ground gives way underneath us, take a moment. Is there some place in your own life where you feel the ground moving, shaking? Could be bringing some feeling of grief or sadness, discomfort of some kind. And if not for yourself, perhaps a friend or someone you love, where the ground is giving way in their life. Just take a moment, see if that's so. Noticing any feelings that it ushers forward in your body. Not the thoughts, but the actual feelings, sensations. And if there are, or you're holding someone else in your mind, eye, whose ground is shaking, can you feel this sense of love that holds us all? That we meet these moments like holding the sky. From this ground of love that we have innately within all of us, that we can sometimes forget, but this is a moment to bring it foreground and not merge it, but hold them at the same time. Because these are like opposites. And especially when we do this, not thinking, but feeling our way first into one opposite, then the other. How each lands somewhere in our body as sensation, and then feel into them equally at the same time. You may notice that it brings foreground another essence, quality of presence that begins to melt away our sense of separation or aloneness. It may not dissolve the ground that's shaking, the grief, the sadness, but it brings this other, a tenderness, an intimacy. Now we have a groundless ground from which we can meet the moment and feel and navigate our way through these difficult moments of our life. And again, I encourage us to feel this field that isn't separate. It isn't ours. It isn't someone else's love. It is love itself that permeates that dissolves our sense of separation, our sense of isolation, aloneness. So in these last few moments of meditation for our time together, do feel out all around you to all whom you know, but also all the people throughout the world. We are all interconnected. We share the same essence present. We all share the same mother, you might say, mystery that has birthed us all. This one essence that when our mind grows quiet, we can begin to sense. And might I add, as you're doing this, let your senses be totally open to the sounds, the environment, the tastes and smells and feelings that are present. Love doesn't deny, it welcomes everything to be here. So something in us can awaken here that doesn't divide, it doesn't separate, it doesn't push away. So that we can meet each moment and I'm convinced, and we each have to come into our own understanding, but we each have within us a perfect response to each moment when we really take a moment to stop, feel this unified field of love that we all live in. Then we may feel the response in each moment that feels innately intimate, harmonious. So again, take a few moments just nourishing these qualities of kindness, love, any opposites, or welcoming everything, and our perfect responses to everything. And may I suggest later on today, there may be little moments where this breaks through into your conscious awareness. And just take that moment, which comes spontaneously, to nourish this quality of love, and then take it with you into the next moment. And as you're falling asleep later, after you've said your good nights, welcome back these qualities of love and kindness. Take them with you so that the body and the mind sleeps deeply in this essence we call love. And in the morning, as the body and the mind and the world reawaken in you, that you feel this and take it with you. So we start our day with love. We spend our days with love. And we end each day with love. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Richard. So, I don't want to make closing comments because I don't want to close. But I will after we'll make a couple announcements, and then Karl will play us out, and then I will end the live stream. And folks are invited to stick around for a few minutes to continue some dialogue or just say hi to old friends, because I know a lot of us know each other on here. So you are all invited to go to the lovehour.net, and Mayrod has, through his network, has curated a just amazing guided meditations in many languages: Chinese, Dutch, Farsi, Russian, and
French, Italian, German.
Yeah, lots. And it's been fun for me because I am not bilingual to just sit and do the guided meditations in the other languages, and you can kind of follow along. And it's really delightful. And
it is a really wonderful practice. Sorry, Craig, that we were speaking with Craig earlier, and that is also the practice that I do. And it is uncanny to recognize that when people speak at that level, we all understand. Don't understand the word, but the message conveys through those vibrations. And again, that is something that dear Karl did with his beautiful music. And I just want to also mention, and I hope Karl would also explain about the handpan that he played at the beginning, that if you need more information about Karl, you just go to karlanthony.com and see what an amazing work he's doing. And I can't thank everybody enough for your presence, because we wouldn't be able to do this just for ourselves. And there are many people who have put this program together through volunteer work, and it truly is the labor of love. We can really say it is a labor of love. And again, I appreciate Richard and Karl for their time that support our initiative. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And to quote another song, we'll see you in September. And with that,
All right.
I give you.
Well, fantastic. I was going to do another song, but I think what I'll do is I'll play the handpan again. How about that? I want to thank, first of all, Rod, thank you so much for inviting me to this beautiful, beautiful love fest. I love it. It's beautiful. And Dr. Richard, it was a real joy to do the Love Hour dance with you today. And Craig, I honor you for being a part of today, since you had an amazing weekend by having a brand new theater piece that opened this weekend, actually opened yesterday. So I celebrate you, and it's amazing that you're having an opening this weekend as well as doing this. So I'm an old theater guy myself, and that's big. That's beautiful. So thank you, everyone. Thanks everyone who shared before. That was a beautiful. This is called the handpan. It's a steel drum. I use this in the hospital, but I also do concerts with it. It's a beautiful tonal instrument. I'll play us out. And this one here is in the key of D minor. I'll quit talking about it and I'll just play. How about that? Okay. Like I said, it's called a handpan, but the kids in the hospital call it a UFO.
joining. I'm going to stop the live stream, but we don't have to stop our dialogue. Thank you. thank you for joining us on YouTube if you're watching the recording.